And you saw the photograph of the top secret documents laid out on the floor at Mar-a-Lago. What did you think to yourself, looking at that image?
How that could possibly happen. How anyone could be that irresponsible. And I thought, what data was in there that may compromise sources and methods? By that I mean names of people who helped, or et cetera. And it's just totally irresponsible.
Many months later.
All right, we have some breaking news. President Biden's aides have reportedly found now a second batch of classified documents at a new location. That is being reported this hour by NBC News. Fox News is working to confirm that. But again, this is reportedly a second batch of classified documents at a different location from the Biden Penn Center, the think tank that he formed after he was vice president. So we're going to keep you updated. We're going to get some new information on that, and we will bring it to you.
When you take a look at how the mainstream media is covering this, you will see it clearly. Something is going on. This is what CNN put out. But they are forgetting something. We are talking about the vice president and the president. That is a clear difference. They have not added into this. Yes, according to this article from Fox News, President Biden aides have found at least one more batch of classified documents located at a locations other than the Penn Biden Center office in Washington that he used in the years after he was vice president during the Obama administration, Fox News has confirmed. A source told NBC News, which reported the development, that aides to Biden have been searching for additional documents that contain classified material in other locations that may have been used by the president. The development comes after a separate batch of classified documents were recovered from Biden's private office located at the Penn Biden Center in November.
Classified documents and classified information seriously. When my lawyers were clearing out my office at the University of Pennsylvania, they set up an office for me, secure office in the Capitol. The 4 years after being vice president, I was a professor at Penn. They found some documents in a box in a locked cabinet, or at least a closet. And as soon as they did, they realized there were several classified documents in that box. And they did what they should have done. They immediately called the archives, turned them over to the archives, and I was briefed about this discovery and surprised to learn that there were any government records that were taken there to that office. But I don't know what's in the documents. My lawyers have not suggested I ask what documents they were. I've turned over the boxes. They've turned over the boxes to the archives, and we're cooperating fully with the review, and which I hope will be finished soon, and there'll be more detail at that.
Yes, watching this video, what I expected him to say was simple. He was surprised that he had the document. But from what he said, he was surprised he got caught. Telling you one thing, he knew he had the document. When they discover something that you didn't know, you should be surprised that, I had this document. Not to be surprised that you are being caught. I understand. Democrats always believe they are above the law. Like I said on my previous video, this case is going nowhere.
Documents. How could anyone be that irresponsible? Isn't that what this president says about mishandling classified documents?
The president spoke to this personally. He spoke to this personally, and he believes that classified documents and information should be taken seriously. He takes them seriously, and he was surprised to learn by any records have been. I disagree. Here's what happened. Once
then why is there a Justice Department?
Well, let me explain to you the process. Here's what happened when his lawyers found out that the documents were there. They immediately turned them over to the archives.
But they were there in the first place.
Turned them over to the archives.
They did the right thing.
I'm not going to go into specifics, but what I am reiterating to you is what you heard from the president yourself. Peter, which is how he saw the process and how he respects and truly respects and takes this very seriously, and when he knew and how surprised he was by it, and the actions that the right actions that the lawyers took. Again, this is under investigation, is under review by the Department of Justice, and we're going to let that process continue.
How can President Biden be trusted moving forward with America's secrets?
Because his lawyers, his team did the right thing.
But he had a closet with classified
his lawyers
information in
did
it
the
that
right.
they found. How did it get there?
Again,
Did the
he
lawyers
did.
do
He
the
was
right thing?
surprised that the records were there. He spoke to this
But they were
personally.
there.
He was surprised that the records were there, and when his lawyers found out and his team found out that they were there, they turned it over to the archives, and now it's being reviewed by the Department of Justice.
Things are going to be very interesting attending to what is going on. Biden will be surprised that these documents were in another location and they have been discovered. Looking at what the press secretary is struggling to say, it tells you something. They will use this backup, the mainstream media will use the same backup, and they're already doing it. These documents were discovered immediately. They rushed, to hand it over. But the former president was subpoenaed. He could not return the document. That is the argument they are bringing with this. I understand where this is tilting to. I don't want to say on this video, let's just continue to watch what is going on.
What's really going on at the border?
He did see exactly what's going on at the border.
He didn't talk to any migrants, and he didn't go anywhere that people actually cross illegally. Why not?
But he went to the migrant center, which was a critical place to be when you think about the partners who are our partners who are helping support the migrants on the ground there. There happened to be no migrants at the facility at the time that he visited. But let's
because El Paso has been crushed. The shelters are full. There are overflow migrants sleeping in the streets, and then it's just a coincidence that suddenly the president shows up and.
Well, let me talk about what's going on in El Paso, right? El Paso did go down significantly prior to the president's visit by about 70%. And that's a good thing, Peter. That's a good thing that we've seen the numbers go down. And that is something that we should be saying, okay, that's a good job there. It has helped ease pressure all across the community, but the president's visit had nothing to do with it. And so, look, again, he went to a migrant center. He went to one of the busiest port of entry, which is in El Paso. And so the president got to see. He went to the border. He got to see for himself, we've always been very clear that he was going to talk to the people on the ground who's working on the border.